Spiritual formation is a process we all should be walking through as followers of Jesus. It's a journey and not just a static place to land. As we walk it out, it can often feel like a formula. If I do A, then B will happen, and if I do B, then God will be pleased with me. But the truth is that the heart or the will is actually what God is after. Dallas Willard writes, "The heart is precisely what God observes and addresses in human beings. He cares little or nothing for outward show. He responds to the heart because it is above all who we are, who we choose and have chosen to be. What God wants of us can only come from there. He respects the centrality of the will and will never override it." There are a lot of things we can do to try to engage in spiritual formation, but without our heart or our will being engaged, it won't happen. We must participate in the transformation and not just think or feel something about it. It requires movement and choice from us to say yes to what God wants for us and from us. The beautiful thing about God observing and addressing our hearts is that He is sensitive to even the smallest movements towards Him. I'm sure you're like me and you've had days that come around where it feels like you've just got nothing left to give and you're tired and circumstances are difficult, or you're just feeling not very spiritual that day. In those moments, it's easy to write off this and not want to engage in the work of spiritual transformation. But what would it look like if we were choosing to take just one small movement, one small prayer, or one small word to reorient ourselves and move back towards Jesus? He's not waiting for the grand gestures of devotion. He's monitoring our hearts all the time and is watching to see if we keep moving towards Him. Jesus assures us that as children of God, we are so cared for by Him, that He cares about our hearts even when it doesn't feel like it in our world. I encourage you today to make a step towards God and the continued work of spiritual formation. What can you do today that will allow you to participate and engage in the work of God in your world? What is He asking you to do today that you can say yes to? It does take work and intentional steps to transform our hearts to be more like God's, but be encouraged today that even the smallest of steps are seen and they matter.